It is a difficult concept. It is not logical.
And now, back to the Big Dumb Fun Show.
Back on the Big Dumb Fun Show. Thanks for hanging out. We are hanging out in studio with Terry Franz.
Wow, Terry.
You want to fancy it up?
A.K.A.
Franz.
Car Santa.
Terry, you're no stranger to radio. You've been on probably every single station, every single studio there is in the city. I would assume that you also branch out to the other markets and whatnot. And well, I mean,
done a little national TV.
For instance,
Yeah, you said CBS, PBS.
Yeah, we got CBS Assignment America with Steve Hartman. He came to town and we helped a family out at the Hope House Women's Shelter. NBC came out, I guess it was last year with their NBC Nightly News Making a Difference, and we did a story. PBS did a half-hour special on us out of Utah. They came into town. And, of course, Larry the Cable Guy with Only in America, and the Speed Channel with Michael Waltrip and Martin Truex. And they did a little public service announcements for us so we could spread that around to tell people to give us cars. And so this year's been a lot nationally.
Yeah. I like the made, or was it Only in America? Love the show.
Yeah, it's a great show.
I think it's a great highlight of what we have in America. In fact, I like the I guess you could say it's a predecessor with John Ratzenberger from Cheers.
Right.
You know, and his was made in America. His was
right.
about, factory type stuff. But Larry did kind of I guess a couple minutes on the show just talking about what you do and everything in regards to the Heroes or the Cars for Christmas.
No, he can't. Well, it was Cars for Heroes because he came out and we went out and surprised a Vietnam veteran who was in a wheelchair. We brought him out a van with a wheelchair lift in it. We went out to Jess and Jim's restaurant out here and just told the guy to come out. He was having a meeting with our committee. We didn't tell him he was getting a van and surprised him. And then that was the episode Larry put on his show there. But
that's awesome.
It's such an honorable thing. I'm just going to start crying.
Yeah. Well, what if you have a car and you're not using it and you could donate it? Like, how does that work? Do you get donations from auto auctions or car dealerships that want to be a part of it, or how does that all work?
We do. We get it everywhere. Car dealers help us out. We get a lot of repair shops. We got probably in the Midwest, we've got a little over 35 repair shops that help us repair cars. But a lot of people come in and their car isn't worth fixing, and so they donate. And we take everything. The junk is just as important to us because that helps pay for the tows and some of the cars that we do fix up. But you can the easiest way to do it is right online on our website. You can go on there and hit donate and fill out the app. We'll call you within a few hours. We can come pick it up the same day and give you your tax deduction right on the spot.
So you do cars? Do you take parts? Anything to do?
I take anything. I've taken cherry pickers, construction equipment, boats, RVs. I can turn anything into a car.
Do you get letters out, dear Terry, dear Santa?
Yeah.
If I could just have a cherry picker.
Cherry picker, yeah.
If you could just give me find in your heart to
give me an RV,
give me a recreational vehicular. Oh, I'd sure be appreciative.
I could make it to work and that campsite in Rockies next summer.
So what do you have going on this week?
Good Sam.
We have our golf tournament on Wednesday out at Dub's Dread out here, close to between here and Leavenworth. It has sold out, so we'll have a good time. But what I do is I go out about 4:30 in the morning, mostly because the news here starts at 4:30 in the morning, and they usually come out live. And we start passing out cars about 5 a.m., and we do that until news goes off the air. And we'll give a dozen cars to veterans that morning, all different kinds of situations. We got guys, we got girls, we got a couple vans with wheelchair lifts that we're helping people with.
So you already know the people that are getting the car.
We've actually told the people they're going to get a car.
So
they don't know what kind of car, so they can be there.
Isn't it kind of a cruel trick to say, hey, we're playing out by Leavenworth?
Yeah.
And
Come on out.
and you don't have a car. Yeah.
And these are people that don't have cars.
Yeah.
Do you actually then have somebody go and pick them up?
Well, a lot of it is that there's a lot of caseworkers that had sent their stories in, and the caseworkers bring out. We got two of them are from Fort Riley, Kansas, and in fact, I'll tell you, the military guys are a little bit different than just everybody. They always feel somebody else is more deserving than them.
Hey, I was going to ask, has anyone ever refused a car?
Well,
have you ever gave someone a car because they needed it, and they're like, I can't accept this.
No, but
nice.
I've had trouble before.
It's
we
not
told them
American.
they're getting one. Like just this one, there's going to be a guy that at the golf tournament that I called him up and did the initial interview, and I said, well, I understand somebody had submitted your name and said you were in need of transportation. You'd come back from Iraq and had shared custody with his two boys, and the car he had was falling apart, And I said, so I understand you need transportation. He said, no, I've got that handled.
Got it taken care of.
And then
very modest, not wanting any handouts.
Right. Well, the guy that sent it was his commanding officer, and he called me, and I said, what's up? The guy told me that he's okay. He said, he's not okay. And the next thing I know is his CO went in and says, if they offer you a car, you better take it. And so I called him back, and he decided that so that he could take better care of his boys, that it was all about his family and not his pride. And so he'll be there, and we're going to give him a car.
Yeah. Are there any restrictions or any limitations to people who can't get cars?
Yeah, well, I don't give cars to people who have cars. In other words, if it's a husband and a wife and the wife has a car, I'm not giving them a second car. I'm giving people cars that can't get them. Mm-hmm. And I'm not upgrading because your old car is old. Mm-hmm. I'm not giving you something a little newer. Oh, now, if the car is toast, I'll take that out when I get back.
I was looking for leather seats.
I wanted a sunroof.
It's funny, but out of 17 years of doing this, I can pretty much peg a story and know whether, nobody's winning the lottery with us. They're not getting a big fancy car. They're getting a donated car that we fix up, make sure it's mechanically sound. Some of them are pretty, some of them aren't.
State inspected.
That's
your criteria.
That's right.
Sure
it's got to be safe.
It's a durable car. It's a safe car. You're giving it to a lot of folks that have kids and need to get their kids somewhere.
Right.
Now, you're presuming, though, that they don't have a car, but they do have a driver's license.
Yeah, well, we checked that, too. In fact, we've gone out and gotten a few of them licenses because they didn't have one or hadn't had a car for 8 or 9 years. But we follow through. They have to make enough money that they can afford a car. They have to be able to afford insurance and gas and have some money for maintenance. These cars are not going to go maintenance free or last forever, right?
And you have just a ton of sponsors. I mean, it goes all the way down your website list. You can look it up, carsforheroes.com, if you want to check out.
.org.
.org. Cars for the number 4 heroes.org. Good call, Rena. You can see all the different, you got insurance companies. It looks like a casino on there.
Harris Casino's always been big behind us.
Motorcycle company? Like, are you donating motorcycles, or they're just up for the cause?
Yeah, no, she's does a lot of fundraisers for us, and
she's great. That's Napa Auto Parts.
Right, Napa's very big.
I mean, this is huge. It's huge. It started out so small. And
started out with just a little
ago,
idea.
Right?
Yeah. Now, what year is this of the golf tournament?
This is number 5 for the golf tournament. We never, I never did fundraisers. I just tried to get cars and we tried to fix them up and give them away.
Yeah.
But now that we got some people that can raise a little money for us and things, we can fix more cars and give more away. So.
Well, the website is cars4heroes.org. We've posted it up on our Facebook account, facebook.com/BigDumbFunShow. Terry, I thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Sharing your story with us. I'd love to talk with you again around Christmas time. I know it's super hectic for you, but even if we can get you over the phone, just see what you're doing.
I tell you what, sometime over the summer, let's get together and I'll show you we'll call somebody that needs a car and we'll give them one.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Terry.